it's Deja, and welcome to Six Figure Friday! Woo! I am so excited to have you here. And listen, on this episode, we will be discussing all things mindset. So what are you thinking on? Is there a link between our thoughts and results? Stay tuned, and we're going to get right into it. Six Figure Friday!
Hey,
Welcome back. I'm your host, Deja LaGuardia. I am an entrepreneur based in the state of Michigan. I specialize in all things real estate, travel, notary services, all of that good stuff. But what I love even more than all of those things is self-development. It's something that I work hard to ensure that I'm continuously doing, and it's something that I believe everyone should always strive to do. So on tonight's episode, we will be talking all things mindset. We're going to discover that there actually is a link between the thoughts that we're having and the results that we're seeing in our life. So let me tell you all about this lady that I met. Right? I feel like I know her. I was watching her in the movie, but for the purposes of telling you the story, we're going to call her Judy. So Judy was a single mother. Her husband had passed away recently. I'm talking like maybe a year or two ago. They had two teenage kids and a young daughter. They lived out in Louisiana. And if you know anything about the South, you know that they get hurricanes, really, really bad hurricanes. So Miss Judy was working, striving to do what she had to do to ensure that her kids had food on the table and a roof over their head. So the weather people were predicting that a storm was brewing. Right? The storm was on the horizon. As the days went by, the weather started to change a bit. It started to look gloomier more and more. And as the storm was approaching, Miss Judy kept saying stuff like, "Oh, I bet this storm is gonna hound us," or just really negative things. And what I found to be really interesting is that when we think about our thoughts, typically before we say a thing, we've already been kind of brewing on that thing in our mind. So what does that tell me about Miss Judy? Miss Judy had been thinking negatively about this storm that was on the horizon, and then she spoke it out. So what happened? When the storm came, Miss Judy's neighborhood was okay, except for her house. So the storm comes and it bashes their house. Like, I'm talking, she's missing part of her roof. So while everything's happening, she and her kids are looking for safety within their home. And thank God they actually were unharmed. But her house was done in for. So I said all that to say that we have to be really, really careful about what we are thinking about. A really wise man once said that the things that we are constantly thinking on are amplified, and therefore we are attracting those things to us. It's really, really important that we think on the things that we want instead of the things that we don't. Often we don't realize it that when we are saying things like, "Oh, I bet this storm is going to be terrible. I bet it's going to hound us," we don't realize that we are drawing those negative things to us. So it takes just as much effort to speak out negativity as it does positive. So why don't we think on things that we actually want in our lives? So instead of thinking on the storm is going to be terrible, maybe Miss Judy should have thought about, hey, I'm believing that as for me and my family, we are covered and things are going to be fine for us. The storm may come, but it won't touch me and mine. Think about that. some areas in your life that you are not covering yourself in? You know, is there a situation on the job where you've been just really negative about? Is there a relationship that maybe was soured in some way and you're harboring negativity? Release those things. Be careful what you say. Our words have power. Our thoughts also are powerful. So the moral of the story is be careful and think on those things that you want instead of the things that you don't. So guys, what did Miss Judy teach us? Well, if you're anything like me, what you got from Miss Judy's story is that what we allow to occupy the most space in our mind becomes amplified, and therefore we're drawing it to us. You know, it's really, really important to begin to identify what you are attracting to yourself. If you want great things to happen to you, then you need to start thinking on great things. Me, I'm thinking about my next trip. I told you guys I'm a travel agent. I'm always looking for new places to travel. Right now, I am thinking on when I go to Hawaii. I'm thinking about being on the beach with my margarita. It's gonna be awesome with my cute bikini. It's gonna be amazing. But that's what I want to happen in my life. So I'm thinking on that. I'm attracting it to me. I'm always thinking about how can I serve my clients better. I'm thinking on the results that I want, and I'm going back and evaluating how exactly to execute those things. So look, when you start to become more aware, your life begins to shift. So I have a tip for you. You know, during Six Figure Fridays, I always have a tip for you. The tip is APA. A is for awareness. We have to be aware of what we're thinking on. P, we have to have a plan in place for when we're seeing those things happening in our life that isn't what we want. And then finally, action. So what actions are we going to take to create a new result? So we have to be aware of what we're thinking. If you come in contact with a thought that's negative, throw it out. Counteract it with a positive thought. You know, it's all about, you guys know the magnets. There's a negative side to a magnet and a positive side to it. Both sides attract things though, or repel. So, you know, if you have a negative thought, we gotta repel it. We gotta throw that out, and we have to shift it toward the next or a positive thought. Next is planning. So you have to have your plan in place. What do you want? What steps are you going to take to get there? And finally, take the action to get there, right? All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. I really hope that you were able to benefit from this session. I hope that you learned something new. And look, if you are all about developing your mindset, feel free to follow the link below to schedule a consultation or a mastermind meetup with me where we can discuss mindset more. We can get you on the right track. I would love the opportunity to chat with you. And guys, remember, today is a great day to be great. So make sure that you go out into the world and do things in a great way. I will see you on the next episode of